Hey YouTube, Gundam here. Welcome back to the very, very great game of Star Trek Online. This is back in the PC, if you can't see the mouse moving around the screen. It's been a little while since I've been here. I apologize for that. This is going to be a video more talking about this ship and the tank setup. This thing's kind of bottom heavy, but dual torpedoes are there, and it looks like the launch bay in the back is awesome. So, first off, the look. I've heavily modified this. This is the Sojourner setup. I decided to click on Advanced, and I'm an idiot for not noticing this sooner. First off, the saucer. This is Endeavor, Odyssey, Sojourner, Yorktown. You can see there's very minor differences between the two. This one seems more flat on the front. You see the very subtle differences. Actually, I like the Odyssey one more. It looks more, I don't know, maybe. And it also has a bottom. Got that. Well, nah, they'll go with Yorktown. So, Yorktown Hull, Saucer. Yorktown Saucer, because Yorktown is the science ship. Hull is the Endeavor, the combat one. Mainly it's for the escort underneath. And, yeah, torpedo launchers there. This whole thing here on the bottom is torpedoes, which is awesome. The nacelles are Yorktown. The nacelle pylons are Sojourner because they appear to have more engine power. I have switched all the patterns to Magellan and specifically have chosen 015 here. The reason is this looks an awful lot like Star Wars Empire at War when you're in skirmish playing as the Imperials. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. What I'm going to talk about more is the fitting. There was an update, by the way. 780 megabytes I just downloaded. It's probably been there a couple of days. I have mine, but today is this thing. Why do I have that shield going around? I don't know. I have so many ships. Yeah, I got that thing, I got that thing, I got that thing. Don't have that one. I've got that one, or a bigger one. Don't know about that one over there. I've got that. That's the same as that. Yeah, I can't tell what that is. So yeah. So, a guy named Mike S, has asked about the tank. Said it gave him a few ideas. Now, Mike, remember, no tank is good if you can't draw fire, and no tank is worthwhile if you can't shoot back. Also, the majority of the supplies on this are probably better obtained from fleet, a high-level fleet. What I did was, I went into a random battle in PvEQ against someone, and this other guy invited anyone to go to their starbase to obtain supplies, and myself and one other went, and I obtained all but my warp drive from him. Or I thought. I guess I went and got, maybe it was something? I don't know. Because I know MIB doesn't have this stuff yet. Although we do have a tier 2 starbase finally. Is there anything I can do? No, besides dilithium. Ooh, the industrial fabricator isn't to level 2 yet. Yeah, Nah, I don't want to deliver just one. A bit of this, that'll help. I'll get some supplies later, but I'm low on money. Oh, okay. The industrial fabricator is required to obtain any ship items from a starbase. It needs to be level 2. Ours is being built to level 2, but it is not there yet. Once that is there, you can then buy ship items that are available from the starbase, primarily weapons. And I think also shields. However, they need to be you need to have a level 3 fabricator, I think, to get the elite stuff. So this is what I have. Remember, you have to be able to do a ton of damage. So, Advanced Fleet Anti-Proton Beam Ray Mark 12 with critical damage and damage times 3. Get critical damage, not critical hit. You don't need to worry about how often you hit, because you can easily modify that. Worry more about how hard you hit. All of these are like that. Do have some concern with how often, but primarily worry about how hard. And that's what I went for. Now, I have been informed by Biggie and others that the Iconian mission, apparently I do have money. Where'd I get all that money from? Oh, I sold a bunch of stuff in the exchange, of course. I'll keep that for later. So the Iconian resistance has good things. The Iconian resistance stuff specifically has good items. I have the deflector and the hyper impulse engines. I'm told that it's good to get them, all 4 of them. Not sure when. Well, this one thing. This is Starship Shield Restoration, Starship Hull Capacity, Starship Shield Capacity, and Kinetic Damage Resistance, and +5 Shield Power setting. So this deflector is definitely good. So, with 2 of these things, you get Enhanced Shield Distribution. With 3, you get Energy Augmentation Actuator. 4, a Radiant Subatomic Pulse. So I imagine that'll do some damage. This, plus 5% in defense. This increases turn speed, which is definitely a good thing. This increases the flight turn rate with the flight speed, engine power setting, and damage resistance rating for energy weapons is increased when at 100%. So keep this thing moving. So it increases. So you see what I'm saying with that. Now let's take a look at this, which is the next I'm getting. Now the shield is required at level 5, so I'll get that when I reach to level 5, which is I'm getting there. This engine power, maximum engine power, 7.5% of your engine power to your shield power, 7.5% Starship warp core efficiency, reduce cooldown, transwarp, don't care. Hull regeneration per second while at full impulse is greatly increased. Shield regeneration to each facing while at full impulse. So you have to be at full impulse. So, and power setting for 20 seconds from engine's capacitor. Cool. So yeah, it heals. The Iconians heal greatly. That is important. If you don't want that, well, this shield I've gotten is quite good in Elite Fleet Adaptive Covariant Shield Ray Mark 12, Adapt Cap times 2, and Regen. Regen's important. Capacity is also important. So, this, yeah, you see the stats there. It is important to be able to transfer shields to your different facings. Now you can click on that, or you can just get two, not one, but two tactical teams on your bridge officers. On this particular ship, which is the Operations Star Cruiser, this is the Sojourner variant. I didn't know about that advanced thing. I apologize for that, but now I do. It's awesome. This is what I have. Lieutenant Commander Universal, put someone with tactical team, beam array, and attack pattern. Lieutenant Tactical, beam array overlord instead of fire at will, and tactical team 2. Science, transfer shield strength, which works on you, and tractor beam, which is good. This, I have science for tachyon beam, those are important. Tychon's rift, just in case I want to hurt them a little. And then, it's acetone beam 2, directed energy modulation, engineering team, and emergency power to shields. So, focusing on tank, but having some for health. So, if you do not have a high-level fleet to get elite items, which, by the way, the other deflector and impulse engine are on my carrier, I think. I don't remember. They're just not here, but I do have others, and they're powerful. They're good. So, but I don't remember which ship. They're either on the Olympic or what was that one? Yeah, the USS Olympic carrier, or where's that Guardian cruiser? Where's Yukon? The Stalingrad 14, a Guardian cruiser. Maybe the Kelvin Time Intel Dreadnought. I don't remember where I put them, but there are two others as well, elite and advanced. Or maybe both. I forget. That requires a max level fleet to get that stuff. To get all that stuff from the fleet, Tier 3 Deadly Mine, Tier 3 Embassy, Tier 3 Research Lab, Tier 3 Spire, Tier 5 Starbase with the Transwarp Conduit, Industrial Fabricator. The stuff has to be maxed out to get the good stuff, which is why I went to this other guy's fleet, because he invited me and said, go ahead, buy your stuff, enjoy. So I did. Now, currently, anti-proton weapons are for DPS. Now, I personally wanted to be sure, in case I change out, to be able to not have to worry about it, so I got these. Tactical Vulnerability Exploiter Mark 12 for beams, and Vulnerability Locator. So, this one gives an 8% to critical severity, and a 28%, almost, beam weapon damage. This one also gives about 28% beam weapon damage, but has a 1.6% critical chance increase. There's that critical chance I was talking about. Focus on doing damage, but make sure to have chance in there. Just a little. That's what I'm doing for my tank. Now, these were from the Spire, I believe? Their level 3 Spire? He suggested I choose the one specifically for the damage output. One that's specifically for phaser or disruptor or anti-proton. However, I went with general. Having the specific one would increase the damage, but if you switch for some reason from phaser to, say, anti-proton, you get no bonus. So I went with this, which is universal. Also, on this, I have this from them, which is a Neutronium Alloy Mark 13. Why Neutronium? Because the Neutronium is for everything. Kinetic damage resistance and all energy weapon. You can go with something specific and it will be higher. The problem is you do not know who you're going to go up against all the time. And you can set out to deal with that, but that means you literally have to have 5, 6, or 7 sets of different modules. You have to have several different sets of modules and keep switching them out every time you go against different opponents. This, I don't get as much, but I don't have to worry about it. So I can go up against anyone and have similar resistance. Now these two are just standard Mark 12s, which, yeah, that's a 5% reduction, 16.2 compared to 21.2. That's pretty big, but it's still useful. Good idea to have Nimbus Pirates and Delta Alliance reinforcements just to give you some reinforcements to kill the enemy faster. Now, because this is a big, big cruiser, make sure it can turn. Turn to get a healthy facing of shield on your enemy. I went with RCS thrusters. I can replace that with an additional one of these if I want to, but now, I bought the Flagship pack. In the Flagship pack was this, a dampening wave emitter. First off, 15% maximum shield capacity, which is fantastic. Second off, the violent dampening wave. Disables foes, does a bunch of radiation damage to foes, all energy damage reduced greatly, and it has a 2-minute recharge, so that's pretty good. Only 4-kilometer range, so be careful of that. So this is that ability of doing damage. A tank is good. A tank that draws the enemy's fire is better, and a tank that can kill the enemies is best. So, science consoles. Starship Shield Restoration. That is the only science console I find of use. It increases the shield healing, which is important. Now, this is universal. Adaptive Emergency Systems. I believe this was on a Flagship. So you get I bought the 9 Flagship pack, the bundle. Well, yeah. Well, okay, I have this, but that's the battle cruisers. Where's Operations Command? There's this thing. There it is. Yeah, available because I already have it. It has these three, and these three. So you don't have to do that, but if you want those 3 consoles, you got to get the Federation Flagship at the very least. This is one of the consoles, dampening wave emitter to do damage. This is another one, Flagship Tactical Computer. This is one, Adaptive Emergency Systems. It's called Adaptive Emergency Systems. What do you think it does? Energy damage resistance, hull capacity, and that's passive. Active, all damage bonus resistance rating for 30 seconds greatly increased. If health is low, it's increased even more. Plus 30% all damage, so you hurt more. That timeline stabilizer, which I wish I had, is not available anymore. So the Flagship Tactical Computer does directed energy damage increase. The firing cycle rate, the turn, and flight speed are all improved. That's this thing. There's that no, this one, the adaptive emergency. So this one here is that one. It has some passive and the active. You turn faster, you fly faster, you recycle your weapons faster, so you can shoot sooner. It's useful. And this was available. So is that it? I believe this is it. Yep, M6 computer. Tier 3 Temporal Escort Perseus class. What is called the God console because of how good. When activated, 15% all damage for 15 seconds, 25% cooldown reduction on tactical bridge officer abilities. So your tactical abilities like beam, fire at will, attack patterns, and tactical teams recycle 25% faster. 20% firing cycle haste for all weapons. 30% accuracy, 30% defense, so it helps heal, but it mainly does damage. And it has a 2-minute cooldown. A 2-minute cooldown. It causes you to do more damage, you are more accurate, your weapons fire faster, your abilities cycle sooner, and you're harder to kill. for 15 seconds every 2 minutes. Now, that's fantastic. Obviously, your skills are important. Get a pair of tactical teams. Those are definitely useful. But what is more important is the skills here. This is what I went with. This one. You know, so these three here, and these two. Because remember, you have to be able to do damage. I'm ignoring projectile weapons because I just go broadside on and hit him with 8 phaser arrays. So I just went with those. So that actually freed up a couple. Then I went with these two here, this one, all 3 of these two, this one to increase accuracy, but 2 for there, because this is bonus, not 3. That's key. I went with these 3, these 2, and these 3. This is the critical severity. This is the critical chance. See, I'm not worried too much about... The thing is, my critical chance isn't very high, but the severity is nasty. I'll take a look at that in a minute. These 2, these 3, these 2, these 2. This is definitely important for long-range killing. And then all 6 of these. Because, you know, armor pen, shield damage. Then I went that one, and these 3. This is what I went for. Now, the abilities on here, battery expertise, most battery in device. I did not go with hanger pet. I don't know why. This one, transport abilities recharge 50% faster. I should have probably gone with sector space travel speed. Doesn't really matter. This is one of the best ones you can have. Threat control. While in threatening stance, doubles the amount of threat. While not, halves it. This is the best. Threatening stance 3. 300% threat generation. And when damaged, 20% chance max haul by 5% for 60 seconds. And it stacks up to 10 times. This causes the enemies to shoot at you. This makes you the tank that gets their attention. Get this. This is absolutely necessary for a tank. Now this should be a no-brainer. Who cares about subsystem offline too much? I mean, a little, but 10% haul. Or plus 10 haul, excuse me. Shield capacity or stealth. You're a tank. And then critical chance or critical damage. Again, damage. Now this, shield subsystem instead of engine. And resistance to incoming control. So it allows you to move better with tractors. 15, 17, 14. One more I could have had this. I would have probably gone with chance because that would be 2. But again, I'm not too focused on the chance. I'd have probably gone with chance, but I'd rather have what I've got. Although the shield reflection is good and shield absorption also good. They're both quite good. Just saying. You could have chosen one of these, I suppose. Maybe this one, control amplification. Get rid of that and put it into a tactical. I would say if I did do that, I would put it into this. Critical chance bonus. If I were to do that, if I could get rid of the one here, this one here, I put it here. And then I would choose probably additional critical chance to greatly increase the critical chance. Now we'll get to some other stats there, but first, 276% power transfer. Stealth detection, when stationary, 12.8% bonus defense, 91,000 haul. Hull repair rate, 174% a minute. Shield regen, 523.6 shields every 6 seconds. Remember, my shields have 259.7. Those skills increase it to 523. Also, these shields, 8311 max capacity. Over 14,000 actual. And over 50% resistance rating across the board. Now, attack, accuracy 7.5%. Critical chance 6.1%. Critical severity 58%. 11.9 degrees a second. Flight speed 4. And now when moving, you see my bonus defense goes to 67.5%. That's pretty good. So you want to stay definitely at max speed. Bear that in mind. Also, the some of these help with max. If you don't get the fleet stuff, you can get the Iconian. That should be pretty tough. Now, there is something also as important. Specialization. Pilot. Activate primary. Get everything in pilot. I'm still working on it. Primarily because of rock and roll. But also, this is useful. The lone wolf. Because, 50% more defense. Distributes shield strength to shields receiving damage. And placates foes within 10 kilometers. So they get confused. Lone wolf is pretty fun. But these increase your turn rate, help your speed. This one, defense while in reverse, in case you want to. Attack pattern will help. These allow you to move and fire and heal, but it's just really, really useful. Now, strategist, I'm told, is also very good. I see this here. 300% of incoming energy damage back to the target once every 10 seconds with 50% shield penetration. These are passive, I believe. I've only got those two for now. I'm focusing on pilots, but you don't take the damage, or if you do, it reflects it back to them anyway, so come on. Fireworks. So, yeah, reflecting damage back at the enemy. Also, rock and roll. This makes you immune to damage briefly. It resets in a minute. Lone wolf takes much longer. There's a dampening wave. Notice I do not have the ability to separate my ship. Separating the ship makes it weak. So even though there is saucer separation, even though I do have the Aquarius escort on the back, I do not activate them. Very first thing I do when I go into battle, activate threatening stance. And I can choose between these, depending on what I want to do and where my allies are. I can choose between the 4 of those. If I'm alone, I probably go with shield or tactical. When I'm with someone, I always go over anything and everything to get the enemy to shoot at me. Threatening stance, command, attract, fire. And I light them up. Having a ship that can take a beating is good. Having a ship that can take a beating and gets the enemy's attention is better. Having a ship that can take a beating, get the enemy's attention, and is pretty good at killing them by itself is best. Because your allies shouldn't be expected to kill everything. That's an Akira, I believe. Or a modified version. But your enemies shouldn't be able to kill everything. If you can't kill the enemy, so by having my reduced critical chance, but I'll take the severity. That's going to leave a mark. By the way, none of this was with anything active, in case you're wondering. So, yes, this is what I've got. I got the flagship pack. You can get other... You don't have to get the flagship pack. You will be out this, and this, and this. But then it... Well, not that. This. I do recommend, if you can, get that Perseus to get the M6 computer, because a lot of damage, a bit of defense. But you don't have to. You could go with something else to increase damage output. You can easily go with other science slots. You can go with more neutronium. So, you know, maybe you have torpedoes. These are for energies. Maybe you have some torpedoes with a ship that turns faster to make use of them. This turns too slow, really, to make proper use of torpedoes, which is why, yeah. I mean, see, it's 12 degrees a second, but still it's not fast enough, to me, personally. This, though, is awesome. I love this thing. If you also, if you may not be using a version of the Odyssey, or the Odyssey flagship, so there's that. But yeah. This is my Odyssey. Neutronium and universal energy weapons. You can go... You don't have to buy any of these fancy ships or whatnot. You can easily set up ship. I have seen people in tier 4 ships do significant. However, they have higher consoles than even I have. It doesn't matter the ship that much. The ship is important. Which one you pick is important. But what is more important is what you equip on it, the skills, and the specialization. And what is going on over there. Okay. Oh, there's some. Second. No. So, yeah. What's, you know, the fitting is definitely pretty important. But what you choose decides how you can fit it. You know, this is a big cruiser meant to tank. It's the Operation Star Cruiser Sojourner class flagship. Even at the little picture. It is meant to survive. I will be switching to the Iconian stuff once I can get it. I just need dilithium, amongst other things. We should probably get some. Yeah, this will be getting the warp core, which that's a lot of heal. And then after that is tier 5, which gives resistance, resilient shield array. That's what I need. The Iconian resistance. There's others, I'm told. I'm not worried about them. The Iconian resistance is the one to get. Actually, I can show you really quick. Just a space. Here. Yeah, see, this is sustained radiant field, or okay, that was a console. That's anti-proton beam. Oh, there, you can get weapons here. Dual heavy cannons, anti-proton beams, radiant quantum torpedo launchers. But there's this. The deflector array, Iconian resistance, singularity core. Here's that warp core. Here's the impulse engines, and the shields are at level 5. Those shields are supposed to be pretty good. Oh yeah, this stuff. I forgot. I completely forgot. I apologize. Where is traits? Traits are also important. Very important. I actually can get more stuff. I don't have anything else, so I need to get more stuff. Okay then. Huh. Emergency secondary shielding, superior shield repair, hull repairing nanites. Thank you, Borg. It has shield penetration. There's that killing. Focus on your health and heal rate, but worry a bit about killing the enemy. That's ground. Okay. Hull plating, standoff, pedal to the metal, and target rich environment. I think I need to go through these actually and redo them. But these traits are also important. Why is this locked? Fleet Research Lab. Okay, thank you. I imagine we need to be level 3 research lab for that, and it is a level 1. That's okay. It'll be getting there soon enough. What's with all the dilithium stuff? So yeah, that's my tank. The full thing. Significant firepower, lots of critical severity, good weapon damage, primarily shields resistance, good skills, lots of healing, very fun universal consoles. Do not have your ship separate. That actually weakens it. Reduces the crew, reduces your shields, it increases your speed, but so yeah, I am having a lot of fun doing this company's done because this gives me dilithium, and I really need a lot of dilithium. So yeah, there's 1,000. So I have 4 master keys. Where did I get those? Oh, that's right. So yeah, I'm enjoying this game. Primarily the Xbox, but I've come back here for a little bit. I am enjoying this game. I am enjoying, what is that little thing? Oh, yeah, that's right. I am enjoying my tank. I'm surprised at how durable this thing is with just a few modifications. Yes, they're fleet, and the fleet stuff's really good. You know, this, fleet shield array is handy, and the, fleet warp core, the impulse engine and the deflector were also pretty good, but the Iconian stuff just is that little bit better. Shield capacitor, it's a ability somewhere, I forget. So Iconians are fun, very fun. I got that ship, Tarantula. Yeah, but I got those. So yeah, that thing's so big. The Iconians are the set to go. You don't have to have a massive level fleet. You just have to have Iconian resistance to level 5. Yeah. They give the anti-proton stuff if you want to obtain it. You don't have to get it from a fleet either. Why did you just get a Tribble out of nowhere? What's going on? Oh, Tribbles breed, and that thing is huge. Minnehaha, there's Blenheim. Yep. I'm as big as you, pal. Although he's kind of reddish, brownish, like the Minmatar, kind of. Huh. Cool. So, yeah. Oh, wow, that's cool. Let's see, at any rate, that thing, that Odyssey is very strong, and you need the skills. Get the Iconian set, and the weapons are important, but what is more important is your skill and how you operate the ship. I've never actually used this thing in combat, I don't think. Although I'm out of here.